Welcome back to Beyond the Box, where we celebrate resilience, hope, and the strength that comes with thinking differently. Today, we've got someone really special, and I say that because she's not just your typical psychologist. Kirsten Farquharson is not just a master's graduate in psychology, a private practice co-owner. She's also bold, funny, real, and she's shaking up what it means to sit in that chair. She's a counseling psychologist, a co-owner of a private practice, a mom to a vibrant 2-year-old. She's expecting another little one, so we're very excited for her for that. Kirsten, I'm so glad that you're here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. One thing I noticed about you is that you bring this positive energy in any space that you go into. That's something I really admire about you. Yeah, so in this conversation, I know you're going to bring some hope, some inspiration, some words of encouragement to the parents. So we're going to get straight into it. We're going to dive in. Kirsten, you are so multi-layered. You are a psychologist, you are a mom, you are a wife, you are a master's graduate, but also a business owner. So when did you first realize that psychology is not just a career for you, but it's something deeply personal?
Psychology and I have had an interesting relationship because I feel like I didn't choose it. It chose me. I had never intended, you get people that say that know what they wanted when they were little. I didn't. I think I wanted to be an actress. I had no intention of...
I can see why.
I had no intention of being a psychologist. It was a supervisor of mine, Dr. 𝐂𝐞𝐲𝐶, who believed in me and pushed me to apply for masters. And it was in my master's program that I realized that I actually enjoyed this work, and I did have something that I could offer. Another one of my supervisors spoke to me about rather than putting Kirsten into a psychologist-shaped box, putting a psychologist into a Kirsten-shaped box. And that's what it changed for me. I realized that I didn't have to be a psychologist.
A typical psychologist.
I could be me. And that at the end of the day, being a therapist is about the human element. It's a conversation between two people. You don't want to speak to a robot. Otherwise, AI would take my job tomorrow.
Exactly.
And for a lot of people, they do speak to ChatGPT. But there's something about speaking to a person. And I don't want to be, I've never wanted to be fake. It's too tiring.
It's too tiring. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
That's amazing. So you are bringing the Kirsten, the personality, the vibrant, positive energy into this very traditional box that the world has made of a psychologist.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. That's what excites me, is when I get to speak to people. I feel really privileged that people trust me with their most intimate details of their life, their really personal thoughts and feelings. And that's a privilege that deserves respecting.
Yeah.
It's not something that you can just take for granted.
That's right.
And I really, I've come to realize that I've landed in the right place.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm just thinking of, as I've mentioned to you previously, that you are not a typical psychologist, as I know, as many people know. You've got this vibrant energy that I know some psychologists have, but you're just yourself. I think that's something important to recognize, because if you're just being yourself, it's easier for patients to connect with you, because
it's difficult to speak to a psychologist. You're speaking to a blank slate. You're speaking to someone you don't know, and you don't know what. It's not like speaking to a friend. It's a little bit different. You don't know what they think of you. It's not about what they think of you. So that's not really important. But if you don't feel safe enough to speak, you may as well speak to this box of water.
That's right.
It's not going to actually work.
Yeah.
It's about trust. And how do you trust someone that you don't, that you feel is performing? So it's got to be natural. It's got to be, you've got to be real. You've got to be authentic. But at the same time, it can't be about you. It's about the person who's speaking. It's not about my opinion. It's about yours.
The patient.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So while we are still on the topic of, how you came into this field and how the amazing supervisors advised you that, bring yourself into this field. You've also been quite open about facing an imposter syndrome while pursuing your master's degree at Rhodes University. Can you walk us through what did that feel like?
Honestly, I think for many professionals, it's the same. Like you leave university and you get the certificate to say you're qualified, go out and do it. But you've never had, yes, in psychology, you do have practical part of your course, but it's very different from actually being out there because you're very well supervised when you're in M2. You're supervised 2 hours a week. For every case, essentially, you're supervised. So versus you go out into the world, now you're in charge. You get the final say. You get to. It's like, well, what happened? What? Why me? I didn't do anything special. I'm still the same person I was when I left my honors, and I wouldn't trust her with anything important. Oh. And now, just because I got a piece of paper, you're giving me this important stuff, and you're telling me I should know what I'm doing. There's this image of what a professional is. You don't feel it. You've been told you are it, but you still have to grow into it. It's like getting your learner's plates. You can drive.
Yeah.
Now you've been given your driver's license, but you're still, this morning you were a learner. Now you're a driver.
Sure.
As opposed to having driven for 20 years. I don't think about mirror, mirror, blind spot anymore.
No.
But I can tell you the day I left that driving school, what's it called?
The driver's test area.
That place.
Yeah.
I was still thinking about first gear handbrake. Wait, do I have to still do this? What am I supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
It's a huge amount of imposter. You get given a lot of power, but you don't feel like you deserve it.
Got you.
And I think that takes a long time to figure out, maybe until you've retired. I don't know. I think I still grapple with imposter syndrome.
Yeah, and it's amazing that when I hear some of the best in different industries, particularly STEM, when I was out in the US, I met women leaders that are leading Salesforce, big organization like that, and listening to them saying the imposter syndrome doesn't go away.
No.
Somebody at a VP level in a global company saying that, it speaks to your point.
I think, well, someone said to me once, and I forget who, someone very wise said, if you feel like you belong there or that you know everything, I'm going to butcher the whole thing.
Yeah, that's okay.
Imposter syndrome reminds you that you still have a lot to learn. Because if you've learned everything, that's when you're dangerous.
That's right. Who can teach you?
And a good psychologist should be curious and ignorant. They shouldn't know. They should be curious for you to tell me.
There we go.
If I come in and tell you what's wrong with you, then what's the point of you?
Speaking even.
I may be the expert in the theory that I got taught in the book, but I'm no expert in you. You're the expert in me.
Oh, wow.
So why must I come and give you my opinion on you're telling me the story? My job is to ask you questions so that you can answer the questions.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, Kirsten, it keeps us human. It's a human condition.
We're always learning.
Yeah.
My dad used to say, every day is a school day. It used to irritate me when he said it.
Yeah.
But he's right. Don't tell him that, but he's right.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. Every day is a school day.
Every day is a school day.
It keeps us humble. It's humility.
It keeps us growing. It keeps us learning. And if we think we know it all, well, that's when it's bad.
It becomes dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah.
It becomes dangerous.
Oh, amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us. Now, let's move on to your husband's journey with ADHD, right? How did finding out about the fact that your husband is neurodivergent, how did that shape your journey as a professional psychologist? Because that's an important story of love.
I mean, I feel like I knew it the day I met him. I think he just had to find out.
Okay.
It's in terms of my work as a psychologist, working with people, it didn't change much. What it changed was understanding those that support the individual. Because it gave me intimate knowledge into what it feels like to be the wife.
To be the other.
Yes. On the frustration of being married to a man with ADHD and what that feels like. And yes, I don't have to experience every situation to know how to support
customers that are coming with their conditions,
because that's impossible.
Yeah.
But it did give me a lot of insight into, well, firstly what happens for those in that person's life, but also watching his parents and the turmoil that they have gone through in terms of trying best to support their son. And the shame that they carry as a result of that.
Yeah.
Because now that he is on meds and he is well supported and his world has opened as a result of getting the support he needs, that he needed.
Yeah.
That shame has opened up of I should have known.
Yeah.
I should have done.
Did you say that he needed?
Definitely. Oh yeah. No, that kid, he needed way more support during school. But he's the kind of ADHD that isn't disruptive. He's the distractible type. So he's just going to sit there quietly at the table and
daydream.
Be
in his own world.
Be in his own world. He's the kind of kid that got C's, but he should have been getting A's. So he was unnoticed. He's incredibly intelligent, living way below his potential. That is probably the worst side effect of ADHD, is the belief that you're stupid. Because that is something we can't cure with medication.
That's right. It's the people around you, it's a support system, it's a psychology.
It's learning by the test results. It's learning by the fact that people know you as the one, well, don't ask him because he's a moron. Those stories. It's being witnessed in a way that makes you feel like you are not worthy. Then that becomes a part of your self-belief. That is the biggest side effect of unmedicated ADHD.
Undiagnosed?
Undiagnosed and unmedicated and unsupported. Because you can't be diagnosed doesn't mean you're going to get any help.
Sure. Yeah, the way you put it sounds so heavy, because you're saying that's the biggest side effect. And the longer that person remain undiagnosed and unmedicated, the more entrenched those side effects become.
Those beliefs become. It becomes a belief about themselves, a belief about their potential, about their ability, and the chances they then take as a result. So if you believe you can do anything, you'll take the chance.
Yeah.
If you believe you're stupid, you don't even try.
That's right.
And that, if my husband would be here to say it for himself, he would say, and he says often, is that he would have taken different opportunities and would have taken a different path completely had he known then what he knows now.
Yeah, sure. So it's empowering finding out.
Massively.
Yeah. And if I'm going back to our question, it helped that you now have insights around the people supporting the person who's neurodivergent.
Massively,
right?
yes.
And it's important that those people are aware and educated about neurodiversity, because it makes a difference in terms of how you support the person.
It's also given me a lot of, I think we can sit sometimes and we can say, you should. This is what the book says.
Yeah.
But if you have a mum and a dad sitting there, and you've now we're looking at a 30-year-old man, it's a very different story.
Absolutely.
As opposed to a 5-year-old boy. And you want to do all of your choices are going to have lifelong impacts for this little kid. And you don't want to mess those up.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of pressure, and you don't know how to make, all you want to do is do right by them. And then the only time you can find out if you made the right gamble is when it's too late.
Wow.
That's a lot of weight.
Sure.
So it's given me a lot of patience. Yeah, I've always really had that. But it's, I think, understanding into how just the gravity of what professionals expect parents to just get there. Here's your diagnosis, now get there.
Yeah.
Your son has this, get there. Your daughter has this, now get there.
Sure.
That's not hard. That's not easy.
That's not practical.
Because
so you have the empathy.
Wrong?
Yeah.
What if they're wrong? Because the doctor's not going to be the one picking up the pieces in 15 years. You are. Sure. The doctor's giving you the diagnosis, giving you the script, go into the pharmacy, go fill it. But the side effects of that, the parent carries. The parent carries those forever. They don't even realize they're carrying it. They just feel uneasy. And that takes time.
Yeah, I can imagine if I'm a parent and I'm bringing my child to you at a young age and you have that insight that you had, it must be really, not only do I feel that you're empathetic to me because you understand, but I feel like you can help me realize the magnitude of a decision that I make about my little one who's coming into your practice, how it will affect them in future.
So I'm not sure if you asked this now, but one of the questions you said was, how does this impact in my journey as a psychologist? How it's impacted is it's basically, it's shifted my focus from the child. I found myself focusing more on the parents. Whereas when I became a psychologist, I thought that's where my help was.
Wow.
I thought that's where I needed to be.
With the child.
With the child. But I've realized there's actually, there are lots of people that are supporting the kid. But no one's really looking at the parent. Well, no, that's unfair to say. People are looking at the parent. But
you're looking at this little person.
I'm focusing on the parent now. It's like that moment in a wedding when everyone's looking at the bride and you turn around and look at the groom.
Yeah.
I've realized I've become that person. I don't look at the bride anymore. I look at the groom. I'm not looking at the kid. I'm looking at the parent. I want to see how they're doing. I want to see how they're coping. Because there's a lot of, there is a lot of support growing for the kid. But the parent is the unspoken supporter.
And that's the person holding the key to the ignition.
To everything.
Yeah.
Because without them, the kid stands no chance.
Yeah. This is very insightful, absolutely very insightful. And Kirsten, that whole experience and the insights that you bring about being a loving wife to your husband, that experience that you bring into your practice room, how does that affect your perspective? How does that teach you? How did that teach you about love, partnership, and relationships?
My husband and I might have different opinions on this answer, but I think it's taught me two things. One is that just because it's a struggle doesn't mean it's an end. That's the one. So, and this is probably where my husband would agree, is that I don't let him use anything as an excuse. So he can never turn around to me and say, I can't, I'm ADHD. That's not an option. But it has given space to, how do we make this work? And it has taught me to trust him on a level that I hadn't, so it opened up a level of trust, like a trust of generosity of opinion. So I don't immediately jump to,
conclusion.
He's just being lazy. It's given me another road to go, I wonder if this is also difficult for him. And then we can open up the conversation. Which in a marriage is tough.
It is
tough. Because the first thing we go is, I think negatively of you. Yes. I think you're just being a lazy git. I think you're doing this to hurt me. You're doing this on purpose. But having that as a road option leads us it's like a detour.
It's an advantage in a way for the marriage. It's a benefit for the marriage.
If I can remember to do it.
Yeah. If I can remember to, I'm married as well, so I can I'm thinking about my approach and my marriage, and I'm thinking that's an advantage to look at a different lens.
To offer a different way of speaking about it means you get to the same place. So if I want the dishwasher unloaded and he forgets, then I can either assume it's because he's purposefully forgotten, he doesn't care about me, blah, 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 blah. Or I can assume that he does care about me. He does also want the same things as me, that something stood in his way, and I can ask around that. And that's why I say we might have two different answers on this, because he might think I only do this one.
Yeah.
But
I hear you. I hear you.
But I think that just that option of that it's there, even if I do need to remind myself to take it.
That's right.
It's there.
Yeah. I just love how you are unpacking, how you're answering this, because I feel there's a lot of empathy. There's also a lot of like teamwork, like I heard you saying we're going to figure it out together, right? Which is very powerful for people that are married, whether you're neurotypical or neurodivergent. Really good insights there. So I'm going to move on now to motherhood. Right, you're a mom to, as we said in the beginning, a vibrant 2-year-old toddler, and you're soon to be a mom of 2.
Yep.
So I'm now curious, all that psychology training that you got, both on the job but also in your academic life, does it come in quite handy when you're facing deep toddler tantrum moments? Or are you like the rest of us? What on earth am I doing?
100% like you. 100%. I don't know what I'm doing 90% of the time.
Most of us.
100%.
Most parents can relate.
I think the only thing it gives me is it's a reminder of what I should know, what I should do, and what I don't do, because I'm a human and I am exhausted by the will of a 2-year-old. Because unfortunately, my son is just like me, and he is just as defined. So
a ball of energy,
completely, and very independent, and and has an answer for everything. And I'm being punished by my previous self.
So funny, being punished by my previous self.
But oh no, he is epic.
Sure.
But I think I know the theory. I can tell you when everything is calm what I should have done.
So that theory doesn't pop in at that moment.
Sometimes I get lucky. Sometimes I go and I'll leave his room and I go like, I rock that.
I did well.
But that's the same as any parent.
Yeah.
Because you can know the theory. But when you're faced with your own kid, that's a whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
They try every fiber of you. They try every string of patience, every stretch of compassion. They try it.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to, because the thing is, their whole world is just being them. Their whole world is just being them. Your world was there before them. And a part of it needs to continue after them. So I still do need to work. I want to work.
Yeah.
But I also want to be there for my son. And these are not things I want to do 50-50. I want to do 100% my work. I want to do 100% being a mom. I want to be there as a wife. I want to be there as a person. I want to still be Kirsten.
Yeah.
But 100 and 100 and 100 isn't 100.
Absolutely.
So I can't be 3-4 people. So something has to give. Whereas for them, they're just them. So their demands don't seem unreasonable to them.
Sure.
And that's why parenting is so hard. It's one of the reasons why parenting is so hard.
Kirsten, so many children have been given labels, and sometimes these labels are quite hard and difficult. So from your perspective as a psychologist, a mom and a wife, what have you been doing to help children not to see their lives through a lens of a diagnosis?
So you see, labels are a tricky one, because labels can empower us, but they can also restrict us. So where it's empowering, yes, use it. It gives us access to, a Google search. How do I know what I'm looking for if I don't know what to search for?
Yeah.
It also gives us access to a community. It gives us access to information. It gives us access to support.
Yeah.
Without a diagnosis, I can't get medical aid approval. That's how I use diagnoses more in my practice. It's access to medical support. Through a diagnosis, I can apply for medical aid coverage.
Yeah, and for a school child is access to a concession.
Exactly.
A scribe.
100%. The problem comes in is if it's this other way. So because remember now it's an umbrella. So neurodivergence is an umbrella. Underneath that umbrella are various symptoms. I may fit under the umbrella, but I may look completely different to you under the same umbrella because I've got these selection of symptoms and you've got those selection of symptoms. So it can work one way, but it cannot work the other. So when it starts to restrict what I believe I can do or what I should do or change my identity outside of that, that's when it becomes dangerous. Or when people start to view me differently as a result of it. That's when it becomes dangerous. So labels are helpful when they help grow, when they help give us room to grow, The moment they start to become destructive, we need to question them. Is that really what you want? Is that really what you believe? Or is that just what you believe because you've fitted into that umbrella?
Yeah, into the box.
100%. When we see examples of things outside of that don't necessarily fit the label, they instantly become famous. Like Louis Capaldi. He does not look like a pop star. He looks like a regular dude. Instantly a hit. Yeah. Because
something different.
It's different because it's real.
It's relatable.
It's relatable. 100%. Sure. So we can see ourselves in that position, and we like that.
And that's why representation matters, Kirsten.
Massively. Thank you. That's exactly the point. Representation is important because if you get told you're on the spectrum, the first thing you're going to think of is all the examples in the media that we see of individuals on the spectrum. You'll think of The Good Doctor. I mean, there's countless of them. Yeah. What if you're not like that? Yeah. What if now you're on the spectrum, but you don't look like that? You don't sound like that. You don't act like that. You're still going to feel alone. So representation matters not just based on our demographic, but also on our skills and the way we carry ourselves. And reminding ourselves that just because I haven't seen me yet doesn't mean my individuality doesn't matter. It's very important to remind kids of that. So I often will say to kids when they come in, so I get it. So a lot of I think it was Ben Truter said this from the Neurodiversity Center. He said, most of the time, kids on the spectrum diagnose themselves. They will come and tell you, I think I'm on the spectrum. And I've witnessed that myself.
That's actually true because when we were in Potter's room last week, Dr. Herber said the same thing about a young teenage, like 13 or so.
They know themselves. People know themselves. Not just kids on the spectrum, but people. They know themselves. It's up to us to believe them and to not make assumptions based on, they just need attention, they just need that. That's dangerous. If you hear somebody and they're telling you their symptoms, yes, the diagnosis is important because it gives us access to direction. But if it then becomes, I stop listening to your individual struggles and I just think about what should be because of your umbrella, that's no longer helpful.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
That's right.
So if a kid will sit with me and say, I think I'm on a spectrum, great. What is it specifically that you need to work on? Because not everything on the spectrum needs to be resolved.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it works for you.
Yeah, it works to your advantage. And I know you mentioned, I don't know if it's your father-in-law or somebody.
Yeah, my father-in-law is, we laugh at his ADHD all the time. He's found a way to make it work for him. Yeah. He can't sit still for too long. He's permanently in a different conversation. He's like an Energizer bunny. But it works for him. He's found a way to make a living with that. If we were to fix that,
it becomes a deficit.
Yes. Yeah. So labeling even problems and strengths, it depends. It depends on who you are and if it's working for your life. If my biggest strength is holding my breath for 10 minutes, but I live in the Karoo, what's the point of that?
Absolutely.
There's no help there.
No.
But if I live in an environment which is 90% of the year is underwater, well, that's going to be a pretty good skill.
Absolutely. And it's a way how our bodies adapt to the environment in the same way.
Exactly.
Having those, I don't know how to call them, the strengths, if I may, they're there to help you, be who you are and to shine and to thrive.
If they help us thrive, if they help us grow, they're a strength. A different perspective, the same thing in a different viewpoint could be seen as a weakness. So it's not necessarily the thing itself, it's whether or not the world allows us to live with it. So if I am, I have pregnancy brain, so I can't remember 90% of the stuff that's popping into my head.
Well, but I have not seen it with all the insights I've been sharing so far.
So another person said, and maybe it was also from the neurodiversities, I can't remember, that maybe the neurotypicals are the ones that are at a disadvantage.
I had that yesterday from Dr. Hafiza saying, literally, sorry to interrupt you, but I had exactly the same thing. Well, she's dyslexic. She's got a master MBA and she's a medical doctor. She said, what if the neurotypicals are doing it the wrong way and the neurodivergent way is the right way?
And that is defined by who?
Yeah.
The world, the larger energy current that is just pushing us along through the go. So if being on the spectrum allows us to access to superpowers that neurotypicals can't have, then
it should be. We should accept it. We should embrace it.
We can. We can choose to see them as there's something wrong with us, or we can choose to see them as something that can actually help us hold something else, hold something different. A superpower
that other people don't have.
Yeah.
Well, which brings me to this point in your professional life. Did you have a story that comes to mind about a child maybe that you've seen whom changing a focus from looking through their lives through a lens of deficit, but focusing on their strengths, kind of change how they see themselves and how that affected them?
I won't speak about my clients just because of confidentiality, and I haven't asked their permission. But we spoke about my father-in-law earlier, and he comes to mind. ADHD is only seen as a deficit. We need concessions for school, we need medication. And I mean, I helped my husband get support with his diagnosis and with his medication that he's on, and that's really helped him. With my father-in-law, I've seen how he's taken that to be a strength, how he's grown an entire way of earning income, of survive. Like, yes, there are things that he struggles with, but there are things that he really, really thrives on that I think other people would get very overwhelmed by. Well, I get very overwhelmed by it. I could not tolerate handling his life. Like, I can't do that many things at once.
Only he can.
He can. He 100% can. He knows everyone. I don't know how he does it, but
he knows their names.
You can't go anywhere with a man because he'll see that person and that person and that person. He is so well known.
Beautiful
and so
quality.
Well
he connects with people quite easily.
That skill has grown from a deficit. A deficit in the fact that he wasn't going to be good at school. He wasn't going to be good with
other typical things that neurotypicals do.
Yes.
Sure.
So he found his own way, and he doesn't need those things.
This is amazing the way you're talking about this. And I know you volunteered before you started your professional life. You volunteered with I don't know if it was a tutor center with learners with some difficulties, learning difficulties. And I'm curious, during your volunteerism there, you've seen a shift in how the learners performed or how they reacted when you looked at their strength and you zoned in at their strength.
Well, I mean, in the program that I was in, there wasn't much room for that. And I think the shift was more in me, was that I wasn't really allowed to, under the scope of what I was being asked to do. I had to assist the children to fit into a neurotypical world. It was actually the opposite of that. But it opened up a thing in me of, but what if we stop trying to get the square into a circle and try and figure out if there's other circle shapes? In some areas, yes, the square is always going to struggle inside a circle world. We can't change the world. I wish I could, but we can't.
Yeah.
Well, not alone.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't question it. And we shouldn't at least try and find some areas where we can cut those corners.
That's amazing, trying to fit a square or turn a square into a circle. That can be exhausting work to do.
And it can make us feel like there's
no way.
Yeah, that there's always something wrong with the square.
Absolutely. No matter the effort, this is not going to work. Yeah, so Kirsten, as we come closer to this lovely chat that we've had, I'm curious from your experience, what are some nuggets of wisdom, if you like, or some insights that you can share with the parents that's listening right now, the parents who feel, I've tried, I'm exhausted. I I just don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what else I can do. I don't know what I can do to support my child who's neurodivergent. What's something you can share with them? Encouragement.
So many things popped into my head all at the same time, but I guess the biggest one is trust your gut. Trust your gut, because as much as the medicalized world will tell you what your child is capable or not capable of, you know your kid, and you've known your kid since the beginning. It's one of the things that I think any parent learns from the day that kid comes, actually the day of conception. You know.
Yeah.
Your gut knows. We forget.
Sorry, did you say during conception?
Even from conception, a parent knows their kid. A parent knows their kid. I know.
Because you're so connected.
You may not realize it, but that connection is already there. You'll see it in so many things. Like a mom knows. I say mom because I am a mom. I don't just restrict that to mothers. Fathers, of course. I just say it because I'm a mom. But a mom knows. Trust that gut. Trust if you feel like your kid needs more, or if you feel like your kid's okay, trust it. Your kid is not going to follow, someone on the spectrum is not going to follow a typical path, which is scary, because if it's not something we've seen the example of, how do we know it's going to be okay? We're going into uncharted waters. Every single kid who doesn't fit the mold is going down their own individual path.
There's not always a point of reference.
No, which is scary.
Yeah.
Because like I said in the beginning, that anxiety of, I hold the power to make or break your whole life. And I'll only know if I made the wrong choice when it's too late.
Yeah.
So that's really scary.
It is.
But if you back yourself and you back the love you have for your kid, but also back them, listen to them. They're telling you, they're fighting you on it. Ask why. Is there something that, is this because you're trying to fit them into the circle? Or, but we need to help perhaps mold a different path. Sometimes the other path is possible. Sometimes the circle is required. It depends. But back yourself and back your kid.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can really say that sums up all the thoughts that popped into my head at the same time.
This is amazing, Kirsten. I'm just listening to you saying, trust your instinct, listen to yourself, because this is something we've had, I think, in episode 3 or so, from 𝐶𝐸, and one of the parents that talked about the journey of discovering to autism. So thank you for those wise words. Listen to your child, listen to yourself. Kirsten, after all the titles, the lessons that you've learned, what is one thing this journey has taught you
About myself?
Yeah.
You know that story, that old story about the man walking along the beach, picking up the starfish and throwing them into the water, and the person comes and says, but what difference are you going to make? There's so many starfish. And he says, well, I made a difference to that starfish. It's reinforced that holds power. That
even if it's just one starfish.
Even if it's just one. If I can connect with one person and change, even for a minute, the course of their day, even if the tide comes and washes that starfish straight back up, that counts. And it gives me meaning to, and purpose, I guess. That, because I think it gets really overwhelming when we look at the magnitude of how much in this world is distorted. It needs to be worked on. And we can get really overwhelmed and just want to go stick our head back in our bed and go, nope, not today.
Not me.
Nope. But just one at a time. Just be real. And it's reinforced what that supervisor told me, that it's okay to be me, that I have value. Just
That's so powerful. Just one child at a time, one patient at a time,
one moment
at a time. So powerful. As we wrap up, Kirsten, I want to thank you for your generosity, for your time.
Such a pleasure.
The humor that you brought here. I am so grateful. And I'm just happy that you could make time. You have reminded us today, Kirsten, that difference is not a deficit at all. that it's a gift. And when we choose to see it that way, we unlock so much beauty and strength in our children, in our families, and even in ourselves. Thank you for being with us on Beyond the Box. Until next time, keep celebrating the brilliance that lives beyond the box. Goodbye.